final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. A very warm good morning to all the respected faculty members and my dear fellow mates. A guest is not just a figurehead, but a beacon of hope, encouraging us to pursue our dreams with unwavering dedication and passion. In today's rapidly evolving business environment, the ability to anticipate and adapt to change is no longer a competitive advantage but also a fundamental requirement for survival. Please join me in extending a cordial welcome to our esteemed orator, Dr. Kebua Nathaniel, who is Managing Director at HIPTEX University Institute, Cameroon, and Mr. Christian Nchendeh, who is a corporate finance researcher at the University of Douala, currently the accountant of Pan-African Wood Company, CEO at PHIBMAT University Institute, Cameroon, and the founder of OHADA Consulting Zone. Mr. Christian is currently pursuing doctorate degree in finance accounting and has completed MSc in finance. Sir has area of interest in research in corporate governance, financial sustainability in microfinancial institutions, service marketing, and so on. He believes in learning new skills and developing competencies. He is a proficient professional in entrepreneurial development, budgeting, financial statement analysis, and interpretation, mastering of computerized accounting software, and the list goes on. It is my distinct pleasure to welcome you, sir, on the behalf of City University. Please, we may have you on the stage.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Bonjour. Voila, that's great. Bonjour is the way we greet in one part of Cameroon. I'm from Cameroon, and Cameroon is a bilingual country located in Africa. So saying good morning in French is bonjour. Are we there? So, when we come with our own experience, we hope to share with you so that at least when you are leaving, you have something new. Hope it's okay. Today, we will be presenting you on business analysis, the environment, analyzing the environment of businesses. But before we start, I would like to contextualize my presentation. In that contextualization, I will first of all pass by giving you some images of some companies that are renowned here in India. That will be a way to bring down the concept of business or enterprises. So we'll take the first slide. Do we know this company? What's the activity? What are they doing, this company? What do they do? We know the company, right? It's located here in India. Okay, let's take the next one. Do we know this one? What do they do? Come again. Okay. Next. Do we know this one? What do they do? Okay. Next. Do we know this one? Please clap for yourself. Please clap for yourself. Because this one is our reason here today. It's equally a company. It provides services, it provides social services, that's education. Next one. Do we know this one? Okay. I think next. Do we know this? Okay. I think we are done with that. Okay, next. So, first of all, I will talk about another company that I could not put their logo here. All what I've been putting are logos. I'll talk about another company so that we can now start seeing the difference. These companies are thriving. I think they are very famous, they are very popular in India, right? But I will talk about another company Maybe some of you will not even know the company, but I believe you must know. The company is called Kodak. Do you know Kodak? Have you ever heard about Kodak? Kodak. Kodak was a company very famous in analog cameras. But out of a sudden, Kodak went bankrupt. Are we there? Kodak was good in cameras, but analog cameras. But out of a sudden, Kodak went down, zero. Therefore, there's a need for every enterprise to be sustainable, or for every enterprise to survive. You need to adapt to constant environmental changes. Are we there? The environmental changes could be technological changes, it could be political, it could be social, and whatsoever. That brings us to our topic of today, which is business environmental analysis. In the same environment, some people will survive. In the same environment, some people will close their doors. So the reason why we are here is to bring you and share our ideas and share our opinion about the importance and the necessity of analyzing business environment. So I'm going to give you the objective of my presentation. My presentation will have close to, I think, 5 or 6 objectives. No, we are here already on the, okay. Here, this is the plan. Okay, objective of the presentation. The first thing will be to know why is it important for us to analyze a business environment. Why should we even do environmental analysis? Second is to understand the various types of environment that a business can operate in and how they affect the business performance. Thirdly, we'll be trying to familiarize you to make you used to some techniques or some tools we use to diagnose environment of businesses. Common tools that we're going to present here, there are many, but the ones we present here will be PESTEL. We'll equally present the SWOT, we'll present the McKinsey model, and some forces of competition that operates within an environment. Then finally, we are going to be aiming that your level of analysis of the environment should be boosted up. So we're going to go next to the plan of my presentation. For the presentation of today, I will start with a general introduction, like I started doing already, but it was like contextualizing. We'll define what we mean by business environment. We'll talk about the reasons why we should carry out business environmental analysis. Why should we even do it? Then we'll look at the types of environment. Then after that, we'll now look at the various tools that are adaptable for each type of environment. If I'm to analyze the external environment, what techniques should I use? If I'm to analyze the internal environment, which tools will I use? So we'll go to the general introduction. For the general introduction, we are talking about business. If we were geography students or geographers, they ask you to define an environment. We will simply say an environment is our surrounding. That's in geography, is our surrounding. I remember when we came to City University yesterday, this campus, we were welcomed with a tree. That tree is a symbol of hope and a symbol of future sustainability of the climate. Because without trees, the whole world will have issues with climate change. Same thing applies with businesses. Businesses strive within an environment, and that environment is important to analyze. So what is a business? Since I'm with the business students here, I would like that our presentations or what we're doing here today will be interactive. So I'll ask you questions time after time. For example now, what is a business? Or what is an enterprise? Who can share an idea about what an enterprise is all about? We have seen types of enterprises here. We have seen Zomato, we have seen City University, we have seen Reliance Joe. Those were positive ones. We have seen the ones that have closed down their doors, Kodak. Question now we're asking is, what is an enterprise? Because what we're going to do here today will be to analyze the environment of enterprises. So we cannot be analyzing the environment of an enterprise which we don't even know what an enterprise is all about. And the current trend in modern education is training future enterprise owners. I think we talk about entrepreneurship as the new talk of modern era, where the dream is that everyone seated here should become enterprise owners tomorrow. You cannot own an enterprise without knowing what an enterprise is all about. So I'll ask you a question. What is an enterprise? Who can share an idea about what an enterprise is all about? What is an enterprise? Please, who can try? You just put up your hand if you can try. Let me give you the mic. Okay. Please help.
Buying and selling of goods and services.
Okay, buying and selling of goods and services is an enterprise. Perfect. Please clap for him. But there's something. Please let us. I will just like the focus is not actually on enterprise, but I'll just try to put more light on his definition. Let's take, for example, what can I? Okay, let's take for example. I buy this, right? I buy this for 1,000 rupees, right? And I take it to him. He's a customer, right? I sell it to him for 1,000 rupees. Is that business? Is that an enterprise? It's not an enterprise, right? Why? Because in an enterprise, there's a notion of profit. Buying and selling of goods with the intention or with the objective or with the aim of making profit. If there's no aim of making profit, no enterprise, right? Where there are multiple definitions of enterprise. Well, in economics, it will take you right back to economics. We will see that an enterprise is a unit of transformation of input into output. Factors of production into output. We go going further in managerial economics, we will see that an enterprise is a unit of redistribution of wealth. We can see define an enterprise as a unit of value creation. Because when you transform, you create value. When you take inputs and bring them to output, you create value. So we have many types of enterprises, and what he gave is a perfect definition, just lacking that aspect of profit making. Now, and the particular type of enterprise is defined is what we call a commercial enterprise. Because you buy, you don't transform, you sell. Commercial enterprise. But the person who have done this from component, part by part, and brought it this way is called an industrial enterprise. And the person who made us rice to eat in the morning, or who made us spaghetti, or which other meals do we have here? The person is more of in a what we call the hotel management sector. Is another type of enterprise. Then the person who produced actually, who went and extracted that rice, who planted it, extracted it, is another type of enterprise. We call it agricultural enterprises. So then we equally have people who are in a mix. Some people are extracting, they are transforming, they are selling. So they are mixed. They are in agricultural, they are in industrial, and they are in commercial sector. So we have seen a small type. What we have tried to present now was just a small, like defining an enterprise, and equally talking about some types, just a summary. Not all the types have been indicated there. So now we have seen what an enterprise is all about. We will now talk about how to analyze what is environmental analysis. Environmental analysis is all about techniques that we use to appraise or to measure the influence of our environment on the activities of an enterprise. So we take the next one. We have, according to Michael Emmanuel Porter in 1979, he defined business environment as set of internal, within. We are herein we are internal. If you step out of the door, you are external, right? So he said there are all factors that are internal and those factors which are external that can exercise an influence on the activities of the company. Then basically, we can say an environmental analysis or business environment is all about internal or external forces or factors that affect the performance of a business. This word This one is very important. In every mindset of a top manager, you think about performance. How will this decision affect my performance? How will integrating vertically affect my performance? How will integrating horizontally affect my performance? How will my dropping this product affect my performance? How will we engaging in digital marketing affect our performance? Why should we spend extra money to give our scholarship? How will it affect my performance? And performance is a concept in management that can never stop existing. And it has many dimensions. It can be financial performance, financial dimensions. It can be social performance, social dimensions. It can be economic performance, and many other dimensions are existing. So performance is something that as a top manager, your mindset is performance every day. Because the day you stop performing, what happens? You close. You shut down your doors, right? So we're going to take the purpose of analyzing business environment. We analyze business environment because we want to have an idea about the trend. The trend. Where are we diving to? Is it dancing? Is it a flow move? Is it a rising trend or a dropping trend? So we have to analyze the environment to have an idea of the trend. The trend will permit us to take decisions. Decisions, according to Herbert Simon, decisions is a choice you effectuate between alternatives. I think when you came in here, as you opened the door, there were many chairs, there were many rows. Your choice to sit there is a decision. If you came in and there was no other chair and there was only one chair, in that case, there is no decision because you are obliged. Once you have alternatives in management, we talk about decision. When there is no alternative, you don't have any choice. And in management, decisions we have strategic decisions from top management. We have operational decisions from low-level management. We have planned decisions. We have unplanned decisions and many types of decisions. But we should not forget that there is a current debate in terms of scholars. Some scholars will say decisions can be perfect. We'll talk about rational decisions. While other scholars say decisions cannot be rational. They can be satisfying. And some are saying that we have satisfying decisions because information is never complete. The theory of incomplete information. Okay, so the next reason why we analyze business environment is to have good strategic planning. A strategy is all about putting resources together to attain an objective. Resources put together to attain an objective is a strategy. So when you analyze business environment, you're analyzing with an aim to have informed or perfect strategic planning and good decisions at the level of the strategies. The next reason why we analyze business environment is to look at future perspective. How can we grow? Where can we invest again? Which other market is in need of our product? Are you getting? To see future perspective, to see and analyze our competitive advantage. Where are we strong? Where are we weak? Then finally, when we analyze the environment, it permits us to manage our risks. You know, the environment can provide you elements of risks like threat. The environment can threaten you for closure. So we analyze the environment for those things. Okay, the business environment, as we said in our plan, that we are going to talk about the component. Another word for component is type. When we are on the environment, we have two main components or two main types of environment. Internal environment and external environment. For the external environment, we have the micro. Another word for micro here is the industrial environment for people who are operating in the same domain. And we have the macro. The macro environment is the environment that you cannot influence. While the micro environment is an environment that it depends on a lot of factors like how many companies are in that industry, how are they interacting, what are their behaviors in terms of, are they aggressive, what are the strategies. You can always interact with them and you know how to treat. So we take next. For types of environment, as we said, we have two, internal, external. And the internal environment is the controllable environment, while the external environment is the uncontrollable. That means the internal environment is a dependent environment, while the external environment is an independent environment. You cannot control it. You have to react based on the situation of the external environment. If the external environment says nobody goes out today, maybe high level of float, nobody goes out. You cannot influence the external environment. But the internal environment, you can influence the internal environment. For example, we can say, let's say I'm the owner of City. I can get up one morning and say, Madam, you are now the Vice Chancellor, or Madam, you are now the Registrar of City University. It's an internal environment. I can control that. But external environment gives you signals, and you operate on those signals. It can be positive signals for the company performance. It can be negative signals. And when there are negative signals, you may close if you are not capable of adapting to that environment. Next. People who interact in an environment, people who interact in a business environment are known as stakeholders. People who interact. Interacting means that you can be a customer, you can be a supplier, you can be a community around the environment, you can be a group of pressure, people like maybe a syndicate. So all those elements, we call them stakeholders. So according to PHIBMAT in 1984, a stakeholder may be anyone, including an individual, you and I. It can be a group of people, group of students, student union body. It can be society living around the place, like community, who can have an influence on the company's activities, right? It can affect the company's decision. It can even go to an extent of even closing the company. Stakeholders. Okay, so we're going to look at stakeholders. Stakeholders will be divided into two. We're going to have internal stakeholders and external stakeholders. Internal stakeholders are those who they have an influence. They interact with the company, but they are within. Then we have external stakeholders, they interact with the company and they're outside. They are not within the company. So we have a diagram here that shares it into two. You see the color permits us to distinguish. Internal stakeholders, we have the employees, manager, owner. Employees, it can be the cleaner, it can be the security at the gate there, it can be the cook, it can be the lecturers, the faculty members, it can be the registrar, it can be the head of department, it can be the public relations officer, it can be the human resource manager. Those are employees, and they are internal. We said internal stakeholders are those who can influence. We can get up one morning and say, okay, from today, we are going to increase the salary of all our employees. We can influence the salary. We can say from today, due to the external market trend is showing that student population will drop next year, maybe. What do? We may now equally lay off some employees. External market trend can show us that next year, our population will double. Is that true? It will double. Because City is doing wonderful things. Imagine City going to Africa to take us to come and do this. It does not happen elsewhere. So those are things that will make us to think and believe that next year the population of City will be ×2, why not ×3? And if we think from the external environment that the population will double, what happens here? Will increase, right? Will increase employees. The manager is equally an internal stakeholder. The business owner is an internal stakeholder. He can exercise a lot of control. Now, for external stakeholders, we have the supplier. The supplier, for example, this mic is supplied by somebody. So the person, you can go to buy another mic, the person I'm not selling to you. It's an external stakeholder. You have no influence on the stakeholder. The stakeholder can still decide that I'll give you a credit line, a credit period of maybe 2 weeks. You buy, after now, they say, I'm no more giving you credit period. So it's a stakeholder that can influence your activity. Society, these are communities, local communities around the area. The government itself is a major stakeholder. If the government sleeps, it can cause a lot of problems because the government has to ensure security. You cannot operate in an environment that is not secure. Businesses are going to collapse if the government sleeps. Creditors are financial institutions, they are mutual funds, they are credit unions, they are cooperatives. So it depends on your relationship with them. Then shareholders are people who expect that at the end of the year, you pay them dividends. But they can influence your activity because they can decide that the dividend that you are to pay them, they should plow it back for future expansion, as well as they can decide that you should share the dividend. They want to take their money and do other things with it. So shareholders are also stakeholders, external. Then customers. Customers here stands for you. In the case of city, you are considered as customers. And you know, in management, what's our principle? The principle is customers are kings, right? So customers are kings, and they can equally influence the activity of a company. If the customers are not satisfied, what happens? One customer not satisfied will tell 7 people. So a single customer that is not satisfied, the news will go viral and the company can close down. But a customer that is satisfied will not tell 7 people, will tell only 1 person. Okay, so we'll take next. Here we're going to take the internal environmental analysis. We want to analyze the internal environment of a company. And to analyze the internal environment of a company, we first of all recall what the internal environment is all about. We said the internal environment are factors or people interacting within the company that can be controlled. The company can control them. And we have seen some of them. But the tools now that we use to analyze internal environment, we have 2. In my presentation, I choose 2. There are other tools, but I choose 2. The McKinsey 7S model and the SWOT analysis. So we'll take the first one. The McKinsey model is a model that presents the internal environment using 7S. 7S. We can call it the 7S model. You can call it a value-based management model. So there are many names you can use to describe the McKinsey 7S model. In the 7S model, we have the first one, the structure. Second, the strategy. The system, staff, skills, the style, and the shared value. All these 7 S that you are seeing are divided into 2. Some of them are hard and some of them are soft. The hard ones are the ones that we can actually see. Then the soft ones we cannot see. So we have a diagram that will, before we go into the diagram, we have the classification as I said before. The hard elements are the ones that we can easily and directly influence them, while the soft elements are the ones that it's difficult to even describe. We'll see how they're classified in the next slide. On this slide, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All the 7 S are there. There's a line that permits us to distinguish between the hard S and the soft S. We said the soft S are the ones that we cannot easily describe. For example, skills. Can you describe skills? You cannot describe skills. You cannot. That's why they can only evaluate skills. You go to school, at the end of the day, they teach you how to declare taxes. They evaluate you how to know if you can declare taxes. We cannot actually describe it. Okay, we have the staff. We have the style, the management style. For those of us of the management background, we have many styles here. Management by objective, management by participation, result-based management, depends, the style of the company. The staff line will be at a level of how good they are. Are they really job focused? The staff equally. What is the level of employee turnover? Do you replace your employee too often? It's a problem too. And then the skills now, how competent are your employees? Why the hard S are the ones that are like the foundation of the company. Every company must have a system. System is what you do on a daily basis. A routine is a system. We'll see that in the next slide. Structure is a breakdown of responsibility within an enterprise. Structure here is not like building. You know, structure somewhere we can say structure is a building, but it's not a building. In this case here, the structure we are talking about here is the breakdown of responsibility within an enterprise. How do we share responsibility and what's the line of authority? And you know, the structure here, in local language, we call it organizational structure, or we call it organigram. which is simply a diagram that shows how responsibility from top management is being shared down to the lowest level in the company. Okay, so next slide will explain this. This slide now is explaining what I've said already. Strategy, the plan to maintain and build a good competitive advantage. Structure, the way activities are being grouped and directed. System, the daily activity or the routine of the company. For those who are doing accounting, it could be the internal procedure of the company. For marketers, it could be what do we do on a daily basis? Do we boost pages? Do we create leads? Do we follow up our leads? So system. Shared value, what are the core values of the company? Every company will have core values. Without core values, you cannot even exist. Then style, what is the leadership style adopted? Is it authoritative? Is it democratic leadership style? Staff, the employees and their general capability. And finally, skills, which is the competencies of the team that you have at hand. Okay, next. We will now take the next model or the next tool used in analyzing the internal environment. But the pertinent aspect about this particular tool is that in some books or some authors will use it for external environment, some authors will use it for internal environment. Therefore means that it's a tool that can be used to analyze internal and external environment. Because within the tool, you are going to have elements that are being attributed or being given to you by the external environment. So we take the SWOT. It's a 4-letter word. S stands for strength. I think you have once seen this before. W stands for weakness. O stands for opportunities, and T stands for threat. As you rightly said it, if you are a manager, please a small interaction with you. If you are a manager, which of these will you be worried about? Will you be worried about your strength, right hand side? Or will you be worried about your weaknesses, left hand side? Which one? Both? Why both? Choose one between the two. I'll take the other two after. Between your strength and your weaknesses. For me, I'm a right hand person, right? This hand is stronger to me than this hand. If you are a manager top level, will you be worried about your strength or your weaknesses? Weakness, right? Because if you are not worried about your weaknesses, and if you don't have feedback about your weaknesses, you can just get up one day and close. You can get up one day and come and open your doors, no customer is coming because they have been talking about you not being good, and you have been given a deaf ear. And finally, they take decisions not to come again, right? But your strength are things that people should not remind you that you are beautiful. They should not remind you that you are handsome, right? But they should remind you that you have a problem in mathematics. You have a problem in accounting. So they can go and work over those problems. Are you getting? Okay, now between opportunity and threat, between O and T, which one should a manager be worried about? Threat. Because those are dangerous things. And now if you take note of this, this one, we said this one is worrisome, this one is worrisome, right? This and this are mostly aligning. Threat, external environment, weakness, internal environment. Opportunity, external environment, because the external environment provides you opportunities. Why strength is a capacity to grab those opportunities. So we're going to look in the next slide. The next slide, we're going to look at the strategies that a company can adopt depending on their position in the market. So next one again. Next, we have already talked about this. Okay, next. Okay, here we are. SW, strength, weakness, opportunity, threat. Let's look at this matrix a little bit. You are strong, right? You are strong and you have an opportunity. What will you do? You are strong and you have an opportunity. Example, I am having my two hands, my two legs, and Madam says, Mr. Nchendeh, this is a bag of rice. What will you do? Will you carry it or will you not carry it? You carry, right? Because you are strong and you have the opportunity, right? Are we there? I repeat again. I am having my 2 hands, my 2 legs, and they say, Nchendeh, this is a bag of rice. What will I do? Will I carry it or I'll allow it? That means you are strong and there's an opportunity. What do? You grab. You take the opportunity. You seize the opportunity. Next situation. I am weak. Right? I am weak and there's an opportunity. Example, I don't have hands. I don't have legs. And Madam says, Nchendeh, this is a bag of rice. How can I do at that level? I am weak, right? I don't have hands, I don't have legs, and I have a bag of rice. How will I do? In that case, I need to work on my weaknesses so that I can grab the opportunity. If not, if opportunity present themselves and you are not having the strength, you lost the opportunity. Are we there? The next situation is this one, where I am strong and I am threatened. I am strong and I am threatened. Let's say by error you are passing around the street and somebody comes with a stick to hit you and you are strong. What will you do? Somebody is coming with a stick to hit you, right? And you are strong. What will you do? You defend yourself. You defend yourself. But now the worst situation is this one. Worst is that you are weak and you are threatened. This is the worst. I pray God that you should never find yourself in that situation. You are moving on the street, maybe you don't have hands, and somebody comes with a big stick. What will you do? Either you run or you die, right? Because you cannot face it. It's difficult. So in that case, that's why you see some companies closing down. And technology has come to be a threat to companies that are not going to adapt. I think that's very important. Technology has come to become a threat for companies that will not be ready to adapt and innovate their system, innovate their process, innovate their product and whatsoever. So we have seen that. I think these are the things here. Yes, this is it here. Strength, opportunity. What should you do? Take the opportunity. Weakness. Opportunity comes, overcome your weakness, and see if you can grab the opportunity. You are strong, strength, and you are threatened. What should you do? You should try to overcome, and then take the threat and take the opportunity, face the threat. You are weak, and you are threatened. You try to establish more defensive measures so that you can sustain. You can survive in a threatened environment. And we don't recommend companies to operate in such a situation. If you have done the BCG matrix, companies who are threatened and they are weak, they are mostly found with products under the dilemma, the question mark. They don't know if we should continue or we should stop the product. Okay, so we are done with the analysis of the internal environment, which we started with the McKinsey 7S. And later on, we saw the SWOT analysis. So at this moment, we are going to try to see how we can think, right? We are going to try to see your thinking capacity. So I would like you to participate now. If you have a piece of paper, we are in a company. What's the name of our company? Our company is called City. So we are managers. We are going to do a SWOT analysis for City. So please, you remove a piece of paper if you have, and we are going to share ourselves into groups. This will be a group. First of all, this will be a group that will present something. This will be another group that will present something. But inside each group now, we are going to have subgroups. This will be a subgroup. This will be a subgroup, another subgroup, another subgroup, another subgroup till the end. And equally, this row, we are going to have subgroups. So we need a piece of paper. We need a piece of paper so that we will use it for the exercise. The exercise will be for you to create a SWOT analysis for City. We'll do a SWOT analysis for City. That's thinking. We have to think and see. And the most important aspect of this participation or this brainstorming would be for you to come out with the weaknesses of City and the possible strength of City University. Because managers need to know their weaknesses, managers need to know their threats. But we'll do it as a simple SWOT analysis. Normally we'll put their strength, we'll put their weaknesses, we'll put their opportunities, and we'll put their threats. So please, we'll need piece of papers. I don't know if you have them. You have papers to write? Please, we'll just do that. We'll do it row by row, please. If I don't know if there are we have papers to give so that you write, I'll take it back to see our analysis, our level of how we have analyzed their present business. So you are assuming that you are a business owner, you are like the owner of City, right? So please, let's do it. Let's be smart. This is group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5. You are not doing alone, you are doing with others. Is that okay? So, for example, let me have this. For example, here, please look up. Here is just one paper, right? Just one paper. Don't write your name there. Don't write your name. Just one. All of you here will be just one. You just think together and you give one. You give your weakness, the weaknesses of City, the opportunities of City, the threat of City, and their strength in point form. Is that okay? Please, if you have more, if you have paper, you have them, please. And one thing that is the most important thing that I want, and that the top management wants, are the weaknesses. Are we there? Example, let me give you an example. This chair is too soft now. The chair is too soft. It can be a weakness. It can be a weakness now. That is too soft. That we need hard chairs that will make our buttocks to pain. It's a possible weakness now. That this chair makes us to sleep in class. That when we're in class on this type of chair, we are sleeping. So I need to have the weaknesses, please. Help us so that we can ameliorate. That's why you are not putting your name on it. Don't put your name. Just give the weaknesses, and I will take them. I will analyze them, and I will propose to the top management. Please, you don't have a paper here? Paper? You don't have a paper? Paper.
Any of you don't have any paper?
Yes, my people. How are you? From which country? Why did you come and sit only together like that? How are you? Why did you come and sit only on one side?
We are one family.
Okay, I see. So you do it as one.
Yes.
Please, you also assist in doing it. Do it with them. What are you studying? What do you study?
Business.
Okay. Hello.
Hello, bro. How are you?
Okay. Madam, from which country? Okay. I would love to visit Zimbabwe one day. Yes, you partake in that thing, please. We need to have feedback. Yes. And equally, we should not forget please. When we say we do brainstorming, noise is not supposed to be done when we are brainstorming. Please, international students, let me see hands up. International students. Okay. So I would really like to have the perspective of, please, international students can stand up, please. International students can stand up. Please, can we clap for them? For international students. Because they are the main ambassadors, they are the flag bearers of City out of India. Okay. I've received already one. Please, if we are done, we submit. I've received him already. I've read something here. Please, there is something, in management, there's something called correlation. Correlation, right? Because I'm seeing here high tuition as a weakness. High tuition as a weakness. That's high fees. And I am seeing under the strength, quality education. You cannot go for quality education at 0 francs, right? I don't know if you are getting me. I said there's something called correlation. Relationship between two variables. The more quality iPhone, the more the price, right? I don't know if you are getting me. The person actually wrote there that strength, city has high quality education. The person goes now under weakness and say the tuition is high. You know, basically, I think iPhone 15 just came out recently. And people are going in for iPhone 15 because of the quality. And it's worth millions. Are we there? So that one we cannot consider as a point, even generally under SWOT analysis. Please, if you are done, you give me. I'll take 1 or 2, then we'll talk about 1 or 2, not all. And here, under the SWOT here, they wrote good reputation. Good reputation. They come under threat. They say under threat. They say reputation risks. It does not go that way. It does not go that way. You cannot say you are having a good reputation, and you come down under threat. You say risks of losing reputation. No. Is that okay? So please let me have the other ones then. We will try to carve out something so that we'll take the next part of the presentation. Please let me collect. Okay, while waiting from our international students, I'll go ahead with some. So please, I will invite you to give a thunder clap to City University. Here, from this perspective, from the people who wrote this one, remember that there's no name here. Quality infrastructure, clap for City University. I think the day I arrived here up to today, okay, I'm still marveled. Most often I just walk and my mouth is just open because the infrastructure is really of high standard. Can we clap again for City University? Provide support to students. Clap for City University. Okay. The two times we have clapped is for City University, right? But now we're going to clap again to our faculty because good faculty. Please, really, I need to see you appreciate your faculty. Because you can have wonderful infrastructure, you can do everything, but you may not have the quality faculty, quality lecturers. So I think that's something very important to appreciate. I will tell you something. When you open your business, because I believe God that all of you here in 3 years time maximum, you'll be business owners. When you're going to open your business, the highest problem you have at the very beginning will be people problem. Who to recruit? Because people come in front of you and they say, I can do this, I can do that, right? You recruit them, they cannot do anything. People come in front of you and tell you that at 8 o'clock in the morning, I'll open the doors of the office. You recruit them. It's at 8 o'clock that they call you that Sir, madam, I'm not feeling well, I'm sick, I'll not come to work today. Right? So it's important, and we are happy that City is meeting, is doing a very wonderful job in terms of quality faculty members. So I'll read another one from the international students. First one, which is very important. Please clap for our international students before I read it. So this is a call. It's an open call that City University lecturers are very friendly. They understand students. So we are inviting international students to come because they will not feel anyhow discriminated from lecturers. Lecturers are very comprehensive and they understand their problem. So it's very important. Next thing, you know, some of us international students, we are from countries where internet access is limited. But thank God, at City, Wi-Fi is of high standard. Clap for that. And finally, City University accommodates people from different nations and tribes. It's very important. Clap for that. It is not easy to maintain cultural differences. It's not easy. So it's a great strength. And you see, I'm here. When I see you guys, I feel so, it's like I should go back to school. It's like I should go back and register in year 1, level 100, level 200, and climb back again. Unfortunately, I did that since 2007, so it's difficult to go back again and start back in year 1. Okay. Please, if there's the other people, are you done? You give me, please. International students, I want to read their own again. Those are, is it here already? I have this. Okay. Now I will look at the most important aspect of management. We're looking at some part of it. We have witnesses here. What's the meaning of DSW? Department of Students Welfare. Okay. So I've seen here from international students and from another one here, DSW is appearing already 2 times. It means that we need to tell management to adjust. Are we there? When something appears 2 times from 2 different perspectives, it means that management needs to adjust at that level, right? I'm not hiding anything, right? I'm saying the truth. What people are written here, I'm saying it. And I'll carry the message to top management so that we can ameliorate our weaknesses. You cannot operate a company without weaknesses. If you are operating a company without weaknesses, it means that you are not listening to people. I'm not listening, right? So no matter what you do, I will not even see my weakness because I'm not listening. I close my eyes, I block my ears. What you say, I don't care. What you do, I don't see. What happens? I close my doors, right? So please, as managers, as future entrepreneurs, pay close attention to your weaknesses. It's very important. If the students tell you that the chairs we are sitting on, they are too soft, change it and bring iron chairs. If they tell that the chairs are too hard, change it and bring sofas. Are we there? But don't change and enter into debt. Because if you enter into debt, you equally close down. So you have to mitigate and balance between solving problems and business performance. So I'll look at another one again. The last one, I'll randomly look at another one. Modern infrastructure is coming again. I'm seeing this one, which is very interesting to me. And it requires that we clap for City University. In industry collaboration, please clap for City University. I think I walked down in the other campus, and I came to the other campus, I saw the same thing. I saw placement, industrial placement, internship placement, locally and internationally. I saw a big wall somewhere with partnership signs with companies for jobs. I saw a big wall again of success stories of students. So I think at that level, city does not play. They don't play at that level. I've seen students in the hotel management department who have gone for internship in France. I've seen students in hotel management department who have gone for internship in Europe, in America. So it's a wonderful thing. We are still dreaming. In Africa, we are still dreaming that can we ever reach this level where students can be placed for internship out of the country in real modern structures where they will be doing internship and earning money. So it's a wonderful thing that we really need to appreciate. Okay, this one caught my attention. This one was done by, I don't know the person who did this one, but it's like an expert. Because under the threat, the person wrote there, competitive educational sector. Who wrote that, please? Who wrote this? Competitive educational sector is very important. And when we'll be taking the next point on the analysis of the external environment, you understand how important it is to treat the level of competition in a firm. So since I've talked about this point, it drives me to continue with my presentation. We'll take the analysis now of the external environment. And we said external environment is divided into two. The first part of the external environment is the micro. Micro is like the industry environment. Industry is a concept in management. We say an industry is a combination of firms having similar resources and similar output. In other words, they break them down into SBUs. SBUs are strategic business units. So we break them down into SBUs, especially when we want to come out with the BCG matrix. Please, if you have had an idea of BCG matrix, let me have your hand up. BCG matrix, if you have heard about it, let me see your hand up. BCG, Boston Consulting Group Matrix. It's a matrix that we use to analyze and come out with strategy in terms of our products of a company in an industry. So it will be good if you have never heard of it, you go and see if you can do some small research on it. It's a very good tool in management, BCG matrix. So we'll take the first part of it, which will be to analyze the competitors and the market analysis, the microenvironment. And the second one, this one will use the Michael Emmanuel Porter 5 forces of competition, while here we use the PESTEL. PESTEL for the macro environment, and Michael Emmanuel Porter 5 forces of competition analysis will be used for the micro environment. So micro environment is also called the industry environment. There are variables that depends on the participants there, which could be the customers, the supplier, the competitors. Competitors here could be, is it a duopoly, is it a monopoly, is it a perfect competitive market, and oligopoly and whatsoever. So it depends on how it is and how they behave. So we have variables across industries like the telecommunication industry, the brewery industry, and some. The other, like even the educational sector. There are many. I think around here, you have many other universities around here. Okay. So to analyze the microenvironment, as I indicated, we are going to use the Porter's, Michael Emmanuel Porter's 5 forces of competition. So next. The model of five, there are 5 elements. Just go to the diagram, please. Yes, this diagram. So in this model, we have 5 elements. 5 people who can exercise influence or can threaten the level of existence of companies within an environment. 1, we have rivalry, that's competition amongst those who are existing. Here in India, there are many universities in India. So how are they competing among themselves. Back there in Cameroon, back there in Africa, you will sit in class like this, you will see about 4 or 5 universities outside willing to come and prospect. As one will come and talk to you and go and share flyers, the other will come and talk to you and share flyers, the other will come and talk to you and share flyers. So it depends now on the level of competitive rivalry in the environment. We have the bargaining power of customers or buyers. Bargaining power of customers, which this bargaining power of customers depends on a number of items. We have one, the number of customers. If you invest in the sector of education, the number of customers will depend on the number of children per family. Let me randomly pick somebody. Please, you there? Yes, stand up. Yes, you. Yes. How many of you are in your family? 4? 4 children? I know you. Yes. Please. Yes.
Quiet, please.
Yeah. You don't understand English.
No, he knows English, but he kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, the question I asked is how many children are in your family? It's not important what you're doing. How many of you are in the family?
4 members.
4 members.
1 mother, 1 father.
Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? Okay, 1 mother, 1 father, then 2 children. Okay, let me ask another person. Let me ask another person. Please don't forget, we are looking at the number of customers, and I want to explain something about number of customers. And we are trying to take an example of a business. Please, we are trying to take an example of a business just like city, right? So number of customers. I'll ask again. Let me ask a lady. Yes, I'll ask this lady here. My dear, how many of you are in your family? How many of you are in the family?
Yes. We are 4.
4. Okay. How many children?
What?
How many children? 3 children.
We are 3 sisters.
3 sisters. Okay, it means you are 3 sisters. Okay, thank you. So imagine her family, there are 3 children. It means that if city university handles her well, the other 2 children will come to city. Are you getting? So I was trying to explain about number of customers. Number of customers is determined by the number of people in your respective families. Your own family, there are 5 of them. Your own family, 6 of you. Your own family, 10, and so on. So the more important the members of families are, the more important the bargaining power of customers. Are we there? So I was trying to explain that point. The next one will be the size of the order. And this size, size of the order, it means that in each of you in your family, how many of you are willing to go to school? How many of you are willing to go to the university? So this one has an effect too on the way the companies will be behaving. The larger the order, the lesser the competition. If the order reduces, people will fight and they can even get mad. Differences between the competitor, what they are providing, what are they offering? If this company is offering what the other company is not offering, the competition will drop. But if they're offering the same thing, it becomes very, very dangerous. Price sensitivity. I think somebody talked about price here. Somebody talked about price. So price sensitivity is measured in economics using elasticity of demand. So how elastic is the demand? Can a drop in price lead to increase in order? Can a drop in price lead to drop in order? So it depends on the elasticity, on how sensitive are the customers or the buyers to the price. Then the buyer ability to substitute. Your ability to substitute means that are there enough alternatives? If I don't go to city, where else can I go? If I don't go to where else can I go? So substitute. Here in this case, practical example is that if you are not studying Bachelor of Commerce, what can you study? You can go and learn apprenticeship. I don't know if there's apprenticeship here in India, what we call vocational training. So you can go to classical education, you can equally go to apprenticeship, you go and learn handwork. So that's what we call alternatives for educational services. Then the quantity of information that you have, this quantity of information is very delicate because nowadays you just discuss with your friend that I want to go to university. 2 seconds after you see university at hand. So the quantity of information now, with the advent of social media marketing, is becoming now very dangerous because people are having a lot of information now about products as compared to before. Then the cost of switching, a very important concept for managers. Switching cost is the cost of you to leave from one person to the next person. The cost, how much will you spend if you are leaving city now to another university? How much will you spend if you are leaving your present network provider to another network provider? How much will you spend if you will not do your hair in this barbing shop and you go and do your hair in this other barbing shop to do your hair, right? If there's no cost, then it's very dangerous. You that you are a barber, you have to make sure that your customers are satisfied because when the cost of switching is very minimal, at any moment you can lose your customers. I remember when you go to a barber shop, if there's a long line in the barber shop, what next? You turn to the next barber shop, right? Because the switching cost is very minimal. The only difference may be that maybe this other barber shaves me well or do my hair well than the other barber, right? So we look at now the bargaining power of supplier. Suppliers, please. Suppliers are stakeholders. Their bargaining power can influence their activities. And when we are looking at these 5 forces in terms of strategy, there are solutions we can take. Companies that are operating here, they can decide to do what we call backward or vertical integration. They can go backward and become suppliers to themselves. The same thing as suppliers of those who are operating here can decide to invest in the domain, right? Then we have now threats. Finally, we have threats. No, not finally. We have threats before we talk about the threat from substitute. Threats from new and entrants. These are people who are thinking that maybe that business is profitable. Let me see how I can deposit a business plan at the bank if the bank can finance my business plan. So those are threats. Look at this. Look at the whole this environment. From here to kilometers apart is only city. Somebody can come now and say, okay, let me open my own university around city, right? That is threat from new entrants, those who are willing to invest in the domain. So it can be also another element in our competitive analysis. Then finally, threat of substitute. Threat of substitute is that, do we have possible substitute? If I don't use credit to call, what can I use? I can use Wi-Fi to call through WhatsApp. Those are substitutes, right? So if there are many substitutes, it's also going to affect the way the enterprises are competing among themselves. So the next slide is just an explanation. Next. I think up to Pestel. Okay, yes, we end here. We are here now because the other items I've already explained them. So we will go to Pestel. Macro environment. No, you have overgone now. Go back. Yes, yeah. So we have analyzed the micro. We said micro environment is the industry environment. And we said industry environment, an industry is a group of firms having similar inputs and maybe similar outputs. So how do we analyze that type of competition? We use the SWOT analysis to see the behavior of competitors, to see substitute, to see the bargaining power of customers and the rest. So now we're looking at the macro environment. And to analyze the macro environment, the most common tool that we use in analyzing the macro environment is the PESTEL. So the macro environment we have two possible tools. We use the PESTEL, and you are still seeing the SWOT here. Initially, I told you that we will not talk about SWOT again because SWOT was already used for internal environment. But in some books, you see SWOT under external environment analysis because there are some elements given by the environment in external environment. So our focus now here will be the PESTEL model. PESTEL is a combination of words that they just group it to make it easy for people to understand. So, yes. Yes, I think I wanted to ask, you have already answered. Yes, political. Let me give you the mic. PESTEL, she's trying to break down the wordings in PESTEL. I'll hold it for you.
Is political, economic, then societal, social, technological, environment, and legal.
Very good. Please clap for her. So all what she listed are the elements that makes up the macro environment. And if you remember what I said before, I said in the macro environment, we cannot influence the macro environment. It is uncontrollable. You cannot control it. You can only work on the signals, you can only work on the information, you can only work on the trend that the macro environment gives you, and you now adapt. It's either you are adapting or you are innovating, or if you are not capable, what do? You close your doors and go back to the village, right? So we'll take the PESTEL. The first one, next. The first one, political, as she said, political factors. This is very sensitive. This is something very sensitive that in some countries we don't talk about it because you don't know who is listening. So we just bypass that one. Political environment is influenced by at times elections. It's influenced by at times maybe groups. I just end there. The next one, economic factor. Economic factor, it depends on the GDP of the country, the standard of living, the per capita income, and many other things. So it's still external. The enterprise, city university will not be the one to determine the level of living of people in India. But the level of living of people in India will be determined by the entire macro factors. Next, socio-cultural. You see somebody here from Africa said, city is excellent because this integration, this accommodation, this acceptance, there's no discrimination, there's no racial issues here, which is very important. And it's a good feedback that when I go back to Africa, I'll be telling my students, I'll be telling the prospect and the entire Cameroonian market that you come to city, you will feel at home. Can we clap for that? The next, technological. This is what has killed many companies. This is very dangerous. Technological factors has killed many companies. I can even weep for companies in Cameroon. And it is something that companies need to integrate. And there's a new concept, what they call startup. Every minute, as we're even talking now, millions of applications, millions of softwares are being created. And as they're being created, that's how very soon we will not need human beings again to work in companies. I will share you an experience when I went to Germany. Please. Hello. I went to Germany and I went to a supermarket. Right? I bought something there. I don't know. I don't have anything here. Let's say I went, as I got in, I went around the shelf, I did my selection. Please listen to this. You are business students, so you have to be very careful because tomorrow you may not have a job due to technology. I bought things, I selected them, and I went somewhere, I was looking for the teller. I was looking for the cashier, there was no cashier. The person that I'm supposed to pay to have an invoice. In Germany, they have gone to an extent where you just select your items and you go to a machine and you scan the barcode. You scan the barcode. You scan, and your invoice comes out, you pay. Right? Therefore, it means that in the next 5 years, accountants will not be needed in supermarkets again. Are you seeing the consequence of technology? In the next 5-10 years, accountants will not be needed. They will be needed at the back office maybe to produce financial statements and whatsoever. So that's the effect of technology. It is affecting every industry. Even educational sector, technology is affecting. Remember during the period of COVID-19, people were studying but through online. And even now, like, there are many people developing platforms where in the next maybe 10 years, we will not need to come and sit in classrooms again. You sit in your room and learn. So that's a big threat. I think I saw it in somebody's presentation here. So technology is one. Then the next one, ecological or natural environment. How would this one affect the business environment? If you are investing in a zone where there are a lot of landslide, a lot of flooding, it's a problem. Can you influence those things? You cannot influence them. If you are investing in a business where there's a lot of, maybe in that area or that period, there's a lot of snows, and then people don't even open their businesses because of the snow, you cannot cope. You may not be able to pay your bills. The next is the legal factors. This one will affect a lot of items depending on how the backing, the judicial system is. Are we sure of our judicial system? If somebody borrows money from me, is the system capable of recovering my debt, or is the system very corrupt? So that's another item. Next. Okay, we are done with the pastel model, and I could not present this without having some items where you can go and do further research. You can go to the library. I saw City University Library, very big library. You can go to a library. You can Google search materials. There are many research platforms like ResearchGate, like Academia. Those are the ones I know out of India. I believe that India will have a lot of other research applications. You can search materials. You can Google search contemporary strategy analysis, 2005 by Gant, Porter 1980, Kumar 2016, and Srivastava 2018. This is just a handful. There are many other articles, many other journals you could read to perfect your skills in this domain. So, since I am rounding up, so I don't know if we have questions. Any questions? Okay. So please, you should. Thank you. You should be very smart. And the advice I give to young people is that try to be adverse with other society and what they practice there. For example, I was discussing with MBA students about the accounting system in 17 African countries. They call it OHADA. And they had no idea about it. Right? So you have to be adverse, you have to make yourself used to things that are not only operating within the Indian community. Because tomorrow you can be working in a multinational company where you have to apply things of different countries. So thank you so much for your kind attention. So I will take this analysis and I will submit it to the right quarters. Are we there? Because every business have to constantly ameliorate their system. Thank you. You have it?
Vote of thanks to our guest who has spared time from his busiest schedule today. Opportunity to hear your thoughts, sir. Thank you so much, and I am sure this will encourage us in future. Thank you.